garden with me while we wait for the mechanic, and we story time on why I had to repo my car voluntarily. So it is 2024 right now, clearly. I bought the car I'm describing in this video in 2022, I believe, around August or October. It was my first actual vehicle. I loved my little car. We'll explain what happened to my first car before we get into this. With my first car, I had a Ford 500 that broke lemon laws. We had it for like 4 days, brought it back. That's not what this story's about. This is about my 2017 Elantra. Her name was Blessing. I loved her. So the first year I had my Elantra, everything was fine. You know, I had some car payment issues, things like that, normal things. This story specifically, it happened really fast, but it was a lot of work, a lot of money, and it really hurt my feelings. So give me a second, hold on. So this specific event happened, I don't know, probably around Christmas of last year. I was door dashing per usual. I have some story times on that coming as well. But I was out door dashing and it was nighttime. Now, remind you, my Elantra had Sport, SC, and like eco mode and everything, whatever. So there were times I could fluctuate. At this specific time, though, I didn't have any chance. And I'm a little bit aggressive on the road, but I've slowed down. But during that time, I was one of those cars who did not give a damn. But the car behind me gave more than no dams. Hold on. So at this current time, I'm out dashing. It's like nighttime or something. Can't really tell you. Someone is flying behind me, and I mean hauling behind me. Now, normally, I don't really hit my brakes or brake check, but I will let you know, because sometimes people are texting or they're drunk, whatever. No, this person just didn't care. There was no slowing down. Like, there's nothing I could do to get her to stop, about to haul through all 5 of us cars. So I moved, and I had to, like, run off the road. During that moment, I ran off the road. I ran over one of those flat speed bumps where it's like a little boop, boop, boop. Like, there's no curve. I didn't really think much of it. I continued to go DoorDash. I went about my life, woody woo, whatever. For the next 3 months after that, I just was being stupid and didn't process the situation. So during all of this, around Christmas time, my car, excuse me, my bad. The mechanic needed to text me something. Hold on. During that time, y'all, my thermostat in my Elantra started being weird. Like, the coolant and stuff wasn't running like it should. My bad. The coolant wasn't running and stuff like it should. It was like gurgling on me, kind of hunkering down. At one point it'd be super hot, and now it's blowing like this weird smelly cold air. So I went and bought a thermostat. I fixed my thermostat. She's still gurgling on me. So the guy who's helping me with my car decides, maybe the water pump. So he fixes the water pump. We do the upper and lower radiator hoses. We burp and flush my Elantra. This was like 2 weeks of work, but she had sat still for like 3 months because I couldn't move her. She's wet. She's spewing coolant. She's on me, and you can feel her like literally about to like blow up. Like, you don't feel safe driving her. So I parked her. Took them days to finally get everything done. I mean, I'm holding the flashlight. He's got the retentioner up. The white guy, I forget his name. I think his name was Mike. Across the street was holding up the engine. Like, there was a lot going on. My serpentine belt took them probably the most time. And I thank them for that because... So they get everything finished. The last time they did on my car, it took probably about 8 hours. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. We finally all got done. I get up the next day, so excited to finally have my Elantra back. I've done everything I can to fix her. She's dry, woo. I get about 8 hours of good, like, door dashing and driving in, going to Walmart, good 8 hours a day. She hunkers down on me again. This time when I open up the hood, she's wet. She is sopping wet. To where I panic. I said, oh, God, no. I knew in that moment my car was done. She was done. There's nothing I can do. At the time of this incident and at this current time, I am suing my landlord. At the time, she was my current landlord. Now she's my previous landlord. That is another story time. My life is crazy. Buckle up, y'all. Buckle up. So I just got to the hospital around the same time that my car is messing up. I was on an e-halt monitor, and I was diagnosed with like aura headaches. We're trying to figure things out. We're okay though. Don't stress out. We're doing okay. So things were just like not looking up at the time. I had just left my job, and the job I was working at, which is Big Lots, they were closing. I made $11.50 an hour. I'm 26. Well, I'm 25 at the time. I was 20. I'm 26 now. So it's like too many things happening at once. So I ended up having to ask my grandpa for money. He actually paid for the car I'm in now, which we're gonna get into in the story time as well. There's no point for a part 2. So I had to look around and went through changes and changes to find another car to replace my Elantra, because you don't want to not have a car. But since I did not finish the loan on the Elantra, even though it was a voluntary repo, I'm about to cut that credit. I'm going to take that credit cut so hard. So I went ahead and looked for a car. Due to my repo and everything else at the time, plus me having to sue my landlord for a wrongful eviction, my credit had been hit. Finding a car was not fun. So I'm going to every car shop that you possibly can. I'm going to like the mom and pop, like Mexican shops where you're buying it as is. And almost every single car I got, it had something wrong. The tires were flat. There was a heating oil, like something was wrong. The car was hunkering. You could tell that the steering column was broke. Something was wrong with that vehicle. It took me weeks to find a car. I finally get one. Not the best vehicle, but I was excited for one thing and one thing only. It was an SUV. So I called Capital One, which was where my Elantra was from, and I had them voluntarily repo her. It broke my heart. I knew it was coming, but the second that the mechanic put my car on the back of the tow truck and pulled her up to pull her out, I lost it. Like, watching my baby's butt in the air just really upset me. Like, I mean, I cried. I said, oh no. Like, it's one of them ugly cries where you just distraught. But I pulled up to the car lot and got this new car. Her name is Big Bertha. She is a 2010 Ford Escape. She is, in fact, a bucket/lemon. We're going to get into that part 2. This is too long.